And that's because we want to identify with animals, especially with some of the mammals that we find so iconic and so beautiful. Look at that, here she comes. And so many of the behaviors that we as human beings sometimes don't understand can be explained by studying animals and then sort of applying them to our lives and doing the opposite of anthropomorphizing. Isn't that lovely? You can also see very clearly the differences in the horn shape. Females, little horns, males, much thicker and fatter. Very carefully stepping over the ditch. And Elizabeth, you want to know, will she eventually shake him off, or will he follow her endlessly? He won't follow her endlessly. I think that if she is in estrus, he'll follow her until he no longer senses she's in estrus, or he gets too hungry to carry on. But basically they have very little to do with each other, male and female giraffe, until a female comes into estrus, and then it's all go. Just turn around a bit. And the gestation period is about, this is not unusual of course, the gestation period for a giraffe is the only ruminant, i.e. animal that chews the cud, that has a gestation period longer than a year. So they have a gestation period of about 13 months, which means that if they mate now, they'll be just in time for the rain next year, so it's a pretty good time for them to mate. I'm afraid I can't cross this spanky new airstrip without going all the way around it. So we're going to speed down to the southern end and come up and hope we still have them here. Perhaps he's going to have a drink. Hold on tight, don't spill your drinks. We're going to move quite fast. Still there. Big ditch here we can't cross. Sure that this constitutes a road, but we'll pretend it does. Right, there they are, the giraffe, beautifully lined in front of us. Can you see them? Yes, just. Having a drink from one of the puddles. If I were her, I would be trying to drink somewhere else. Ryan, where do you want me?
Where do you feel better?
Do you want a backlighter, or do you want to... Let's go this way. Does definitely want to have a drink, and I say she's picking the wrong spot here because I think there's going to be quite a lot of runoff from this airstrip. There we go. Now watching a giraffe drink, if you've never seen it before, is an astonishing thing. Look at the way she has to spread her legs. This is wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. He is obviously now taking his opportunity. And she'll flick her head like that because she's got to get the blood that rushes down into her brain. Now there's blood now pumping into her brain because her heart is enormous. Now watch her flick her head as she stops drinking. And what that does is to help to push the blood back out of the brain and down in towards the heart. The pressure build-up when they put their heads on the ground is enormous. So they can't keep their heads down for too long. This is the equivalent of a human being male harassing a woman at a bar. Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing here. Isn't that wonderful? The tongues, lengthy tongues, some of the longest tongues in the animal kingdom. She's trying desperately to get him away, but he just is not interested in learning. We are all the same. We saw there how he tried to back her up against the water so she couldn't leave. That is wonderful. And as we see them running off into the into the distance there, Mauricia, you want to know if another male was to come around, would they fight, or would she just choose between them? Mauricia, I think they'd definitely fight. Giraffe are famed for their fighting. This is astonishing. I'm just going to turn, sorry, I'll turn slightly so that you don't get the back end of the car. But he's trying desperately to herd her, like a sheepdog might sheep. I've never seen this before. So they do fight a lot, Mauritia. The males slam their heads and necks against each other. They kind of swing that huge neck against another bull, and it makes a thwacking sound. I've often seen it. I've seen it once quite seriously. Normally it's just kind of necking, it looks like. Well, not necking in the traditional sense, but it's certainly it is necking of sorts. But then when they get really angry, they really do smash their heads into their opposition's neck. Don't want to get too close because they definitely are sort of moving away from us a bit. Oh, look at the color on them. That is just beautiful. I think she's quite a lot older than him, you know. He looks like a bull in prime shape. I think she's a bit older. You can see her skin's not in quite as good a condition. Now you see, he wouldn't be doing that unless she was coming into some kind of estrus. She might not be fully there. And like I said, similar with human beings, she will make him work for the opportunity to mate. And that just, there's a really good evolutionary purpose behind that. Because what it does is that it proves that he is a male worth his salt. He's not flighty, he's probably got good genes. Exactly in the same way as in human society, well, sometimes we men are required to work quite hard, and that's for good reason. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to let them go off into the bush there. I'm not going to follow them off road through there.